Welcome to the pregame with Kat and Nikki. This podcast is for the go-getters, game changers, and hustlers who are trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. If you like sports and entertainment and two women who talk about these things, then this is the place for you. The pregame is all about the preparation and hard work put in before the magic happens in business, sports, media, and life. We'll talk to guests who have made it to find out how exactly they made it happen, and sometimes we'll just shoot the breeze and whatever we feel like with a solo cup in our hands. Buckle up, grab a drink, and join us in the pregame.
I just love that every time. We're just going to cheers for that.
Cheers.
Yay. All right, guys. So we have a very special guest. Our first guest. We're so excited.
Woo!
I know. Morgan Reagan. Thank you so much for being here. So you have like 1,200 titles, which I love because I feel like we have 1,200 titles too.
Amen to that.
Yeah. So you are an NBA GLeague color commentator.
Yes.
Which I didn't actually know was called a color commentator.
Right.
We'll get into that.
Okay.
You sports radio host, TV host. You do podcasts. You have your own podcast.
Podcasting.
Shout out your podcast really quick.
Juicimo podcast. What up?
Make sure you listen to that too. Yeah, just overall bad A.
Ooh, I like it. That's such a PG way to say it.
Yeah, we're all about that PG-13 life around here. So welcome.
I dig it. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah.
Seriously, this is amazing.
Well, we're excited to have you. And I love how like all of our lives have like connected somehow along the years. And like now the three of us are sitting here. Mm-hmm. Who knew that one day this would happen?
No, it is very interesting because even Nikki, as she was growing her career, she had reached out to me a long time ago. And then we met at Granite Bay Golf Course for
the Sacramento Kings.
The golf tournament. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then with Kat, I mean, obviously it's just like with Sacramento Kings. I'm trying to think, former dancer. I mean, maybe I'd seen you like during that time.
Were you weren't actually working with the Kings at that time?
No,
though.
I was interning with radio at that time. So I was like getting in with media and stuff.
Well, kind of tell us how that happened. Like I know you played basketball like all of your life, obviously.
Yes.
So that's number one. But what transitioned from playing basketball to speaking about basketball or sports in general?
Yeah. Well, when I was playing basketball even, I don't know if this, goes for you, Nikki, with golf and everything. Like you find a time when you're like, oh, I'm not going to be a professional. I'm a 5'6" point guard. Like I have mad handles. My shot is sweet, but there's not much more you can do.
You had self-awareness.
I had self-awareness. It's so cute. Being self-aware. Yes. And that's when I was like, well, I want to talk about basketball. I want to be talking about sports. Like that's what I want to do. And so that transition came around still late for most people, where I would say I was like 23, 24. And that's where I was like, okay, I'm going to intern with ABC 10. It used to be News 10. So I interned with their sports station, the sports department, I'm sorry. And from there, that's when I started going to Kings games. And that's where I met a guy named Dave Deuce Mason. And he was working with KHK since he was like 16. And he asked me to be an intern at KHK. He goes, you have a voice for radio. I'm like, cool, thanks. Cool. like, so what's my face like? Usually people say, you have a face for radio.
I'm offended by this statement.
I was like, I don't know what to think at this point, but I think we might be friends. So, so at that point, I started interning for KGK. And then from there, it just kept growing into the other avenues that I'm in now.
And you mentioned, how old were you when this happened? 24, 25?
I was, I want to say 24.
Okay.
Yes, let's say I was 24, and I was feeling very scared because you guys know these internships back then were $0. Yep, shout out to
Michelle. Yeah. How did you get that internship? Because I feel like a lot of people, and in our first episode, Nikki said she tried to get any and every internship possible in the Sacramento area, and she didn't get one.
Oh yeah,
it's like so difficult.
It was, and I think because I was a little bit older, but I had enrolled like I wasn't planning on going back to school. And then I enrolled into a journalism class. And by enrolling, that's how you were able to even apply for the internship because you're a college student, even though I was like, well, one class, okay.
Feeling it.
Yeah,
3
whatever.
credits.
And And so then, killed the interview because I'm probably older than half the people that they were interviewing at the time. A lot of younger people. And got the internship, and then the KGK one was just a little easier because they didn't have a strong like leadership I guess people there at the station. So it was kind of like anyone could do what they wanted. So it was like, you'd be a good intern, pick up phones and let me teach you a few more things. And I was like, great. And instead of doing just that though, and doing what I was told, I did everything extra, I was going to every single Kings game. I was going to with like a media badge and stuff. And you guys, you'll love this. When I was an intern with KGK, I flew myself out to New York where the NBA meetings were being held, when the Sacramento Kings, there was uncertainty whether they were going to stay in Sacramento. So there was you're starting to hear about Vivek Ranadive. You're starting to hear about Ron Burkle. You're starting to hear about Mark Mastroff, these investors. And I flew myself out there and snuck into NBA meetings.
No. Damn.
Yeah.
That is a boss move.
Okay, wait, I want to stop you though, because we're talking about you're 24, 25 years old when this is happening. You're interning, not making money from these internships. So what, and you're flying yourself to New York. So how did you do that? Because I think a lot of people, they have this dream but they always say I don't have the money to do it. I don't have the finances to be able to do it. So what was your secret? What did you do?
So 2 things that I did. I had moved back home, and that was huge. Obviously, you're not paying rent at the time. I moved back home because I had moved from a place in Sacramento that it wasn't working out. And so it was going to be my transition, just being at home. Well, it allowed me to work for free and to do those things. And then I end up using thousands of dollars of my savings to go to New York where I remember just not even wanting to tell my dad because he was going to be like, what the hell? You're here to save money. What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, you believe in yourself and you're chasing something.
And that's... Yep.
That's what it was. And I think it ended up paying off in the long run.
I think it did. I think what it did for me too was if you show enough confidence, even when I was there, I showed enough confidence. I'm an intern getting paid jack squat, but hey, I showed enough confidence that I belong there. And I'm taking photos of David Stern and Adam Silver before he was even the commissioner. And I was just just acting like I belonged. And that's what I think a lot of people, for all those people who, the financial thing, once again, lived at home, wasn't paying a rent. So that's how I had money. And my side hustle, I was a personal assistant for someone. I walk dogs. You have to, you can't pick and choose. You have to do everything. I would have mowed lawns if I was offered that. So that's how I was getting those little bit of bucks to do what I need to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And also with walking into a room confidently, a lot of people don't know how to do that, especially with big wigs in a room like that. So what did you do? What did you tell yourself when you were walking into the room?
Well, I was getting in at first, easily. Then there was a time, when it was a bigger meeting and someone stopped me and said, excuse me, where's your badge? And one of the News 10 guys came over because he saw it happen. He goes, she's with me, even though he's you can get me in so much trouble for this. And I'm like, thank you.
Wow.
And he was a mentor too, but he was I have nothing to do with you. I don't want to get in trouble for whatever you're doing. I'm like, you got it. So even when I was in there, the NBA does a great job of, I personally feel being very equal when it comes to male and female people working. So it wasn't I was just surrounded by a whole bunch of men and I was intimidated. It was it was a pretty even amount of women and men there. So it was all right, I feel confident, I feel good, and you just follow the lead of others. That's of James Ham, who's the Sacramento Kings insider. I remember he was there with Cowbell Kingdom, I think, at the time. And it was just one of those things where just you gotta have confidence.
And you were just networking. Is that what you did?
Well,
what did you do in there?
I was more trying to create take a lot of photographs for KHK because I was interning for KHK.
Okay.
So I wanted to more prove to KHK, the sports radio station. Sorry, I keep saying KHK, but people might not know it's a sports radio station in Sacramento. And I wanted to prove to them that they should hire me.
Yeah.
And that's why I was just like grinding out, taking these great photos, writing pieces, sending them back to the KHK online people or whoever could put them up on KHK.com saying, here, you want this piece? Look at this great piece of information. And I didn't act like I was a journalist. Like I didn't act like I was reporting something new. I would always wait for information to come and then I was delivering the information. People would then go to they'd get their information from a KHK site where it wasn't breaking news though that I was doing.
Yeah,
so.
But you were still doing the above and beyond of what your actual job was, right?
Yeah.
I think that's something that people need to hear and take in their daily life is that you just can't coast on, even though your job description says you do this, 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 and this.
Totally.
You have to 10x that. And everyone that I've ever met that is successful in whatever they do always 10x's what they're doing.
That's what you guys do. I mean, that's exactly that's why it's really cool that you are doing this podcast because you can't just be an on-court host anymore. You can't just be hosting I want to get it correct. So a golf channel video.
Correspondent for the golf channel.
There we go.
There it is.
Thank
I got
you.
it.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. You're welcome, Nikki.
You can't. And that's why you guys, I love that you guys are even adventuring out into the podcast world. What else can we do? And sometimes, guess what? We're not going to make a lot of money. You'll sometimes make $0. Shout out to Michelle.
Michelle back there. She's
Michelle.
making $0 along with all of us here. I think we just wanted to start this because, at least for me, I think it's hard to find inspiration sometimes that is attainable, right? You see a lot of these videos, you have no idea who those people are. And for me, that doesn't really do much for me. So when I heard Nikki's story and even just hearing that, I'm like, dang, cause she had a very similar story. She flew herself out to different golf events. And that's kind of how she networked, right? You did the same thing. I'm like, dang, I never flew myself out. I'm like, okay, what can I do? That inspires me. And I think people need to hear that, it's not a cut and dry, you get a job and then you just sit there, do your job, and someone's going to discover you. No. That's not how it works.
And Morgan, to your point too, you can't just be doing one thing anymore, especially if you work in media, you have to be on a bunch of different platforms. You can't just rely on your website. You can't just rely on Instagram. You can't just rely on YouTube. You can't just rely on a podcast. You can't just rely on, say, for example, Golf Channel or Sacramento Kings. You have to make sure that you have all your bases covered because you don't know with how media is today. Something could end tomorrow or go and not be trendy anymore. You know, so you have to make sure that you are covered if something were to happen. Well, and it's fun and exciting, but it also is kind of stressful too at the same time.
It is because it's a lot of grind for $0. It is. And even I've been now adventuring out trying, you guys. This is amateur, okay, right here. So I don't want to
have solo cups.
I don't want anyone to think I'm this is how you do it. It's no, this is how I'm creating my path, and I'm starting to reach out to agents. And I've had some people tell me that agents are, you don't need an agent. You're doing pretty much everything an agent does. And then I have other people say why not? Why not if they know more people and everything? And it's been interesting because I've been told, hey, I know you do play-by-play, but can you start, I know you do color, but can you start doing play-by-play? And I'm like, what? And for people to know, my play-by-play partner is Dave Deuce Mason on the Stockton Kings broadcast. And so I'm color. It's not the same job. It is hard to do play-by-play. So he's already telling me, but can you do something else? And I'm like, wait, I can do these 10 things that I already pointed out. But
your strengths.
Yes,
yeah.
But sure, let me go find a free gig where someone will let me do play-by-play. Let me go find a high school game that I can record myself. And I'm not kidding you guys. That's what I need to do if I want to, you know.
And you're going to do it.
I've been pondering it. It's so hard. Play-by-play is so hard.
Oh, I know. I could never do that. I mean, you're constantly looking side to side. You have to know every little thing, every name, every position, what the foul is or the call, everything.
And really quick though, too, you guys, with GLeague, like the reason why I love color because I know
what
the
is
game.
That? I'm confused.
Yes, so let me.
I shouldn't be.
No,
Michelle's
producers Michelle, like,
she's
thank
like,
God
can you
someone
ask her
said something.
What the color? Why is it their jerseys?
No, and you guys, I did not understand why the hell they called it this at first, and now I get it. So the play-by-play voice is the one drawing the lines of the game. The color analyst is the one coloring it all in with the details. So isn't that pretty?
Wow, so artistic.
So what I pretty much am doing, I know the game of basketball because I've played forever. So I'm analyzing why so-and-so is setting a high pick and it's, and where he's setting it and his feet. And I'm like trying to get into something even though my brain isn't going there.
Totally.
So let's say I'm like analyzing exactly why they were able to make that shot. Deuce, the play-by-play voice, would be saying exactly what you're seeing, the play-by-play. So-and-so passes it to so-and-so. So-and-so drives in, goes, spin move to the rim. He's got the bucket. And I go, he got a good shot because so-and-so set the screen, and that's why team basketball works. There you go. Is that a good example?
Yeah, you're analyzing it.
Okay.
Ooh,
so
that really, I didn't realize that you guys split it, if that makes sense.
And so with GLeague, you guys get this. So golf, you and NBA, you know guys in the NBA. If I say LeBron James, you know LeBron James. If I say it's Tiger Woods, you know Tiger. Like,
you're like, who's the
only golfer?
She better say Tiger Woods.
I should name someone like younger. I'm just gonna go with Tiger right now.
That's all I know too. It's okay.
So with GLeague, there's these guys that you've never heard of or seen before, and you can barely pronounce their names.
Yeah.
And what Deuce and I have to do, instead of just Googling them, you have to research for days. You can Google LeBron James, 100 things come up. You Google, Randy Onwaso, thank you.
This is a lot so when I cover the college golf, it's the same thing because all the professional golfers, you can find everything on them. But these young kids, I'm like, I don't even know who they are, and I try to find them on Instagram.
Their Instagram
exactly.
Page.
That's pretty much how I've done my research.
I'm
not kidding you. Oh yeah.
On IG, you're like,
I stalk them on Instagram, and I'm like, you're welcome, guys, for giving you one new follower. But but it's so true. Like it's so much harder when they're not in the professional Premier League, and you're like, oh dang, this is hard.
And Nikki just gave me a tip. I'm literally going to try that. I don't know why I didn't think of Instagram.
Oh yeah, Instagram is where it's at, girl.
That's genius.
You'll find out little things on there.
Yeah, because then I'll be like, so how was your mom's birthday the other day? And they're like, what the?
So
and
smart.
It's so great. It's so great.
Thank you.
He probably didn't make that shot because last night he had a whole Domino's pizza. So
exactly.
Like, are you a stalker?
You learn a little bit too much probably.
Doing it.
But back to the agent.
Yes.
Because I'm kind of in that same realm. So it is, I've heard positive things. I've heard negative things. And it's also just a cutthroat world, and different hosts it's a strange land, right? Because you have hardcore news reporters, like people you see on CNN, and you have a little bit softer news reporters, more like I would say Good Day Sack, something like that. That's a little bit more, which you were a part of Good Day Sack, right? Did you? And you did.
I was a reporter.
You were a reporter, right? Yep. So did you like that?
It was very light, like you said.
Yeah.
You're going to sewing parties and antique stores, and I like sports. And not to say there's all it did with that, just side note really quick, was just help me learn something else, put something else under my belt, and help me gain more experience as a TV reporter. But you're exactly
and what
right.
You love too.
But you're right though, because you can land in something that you don't necessarily love. I don't love going out to car shows. I want to go to a sporting event and talk about what I do love, but it's the experience and the tools you learn along the way. That is why I loved the job.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel like from the experience that you get on TV to radio to live event, like it all creates just like your persona.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 100%.
You guys, I feel like you guys do a lot of live stuff. Am I wrong? I know Kat does, but
you do more live stuff than I do.
Okay.
I do from time to time. It depends.
Live
it's
stuff
an
is
animal.
It's a whole different
scary
thing.
Like, but it's kind of fun because you're like, okay, I have one shot, so it's not like, you know, if you're like if you're recording something, if you mess up, you're like, okay, wait, can we like redo it? But if it's live, you're like, all right, this is one shot. I better get it right. Let's go.
What about even with like Q&As for you? Like, do you have to do a lot of Q&As? Like,
I do a lot of like interviews,
or like
and so
hosting a round table or anything like that with any golfers, like in front of people. Okay,
we don't do no. I do have to do at golf tournaments because you're in front of people. So that's the one thing that I like. Sometimes hate is like it's not the stuff that I do is not necessarily on TV, but I'm doing stuff and you have to do it in front of like all the spectators and fans, and you know they're like listening in and like they'll say something. You know, if you say something wrong, and it's very frustrating. But with interviews too, I mean, I prep my questions ahead of time, but then sometimes if they answer a different way or if they say something, then I have to kind of roll with it and
you can't just ignore what they're saying 100%. Going into what you were planned, because then you can tell. That's how you tell a great host from someone who's just doing their job. Right?
They listen.
You're having a conversation with someone.
It's it's even going to these podcasts. I know I'm the first guest on your show, and it's like, you know, you guys are going to be like stars, and you're not even going to show this one because it's going to be like, oh God, this one, Morgan. Michelle wasn't even doing her job. Producer Michelle
drinking her wine back there.
No, I'm kidding. but you know, it's like it is so funny because you do, after more and more reps, though, you do find yourself like, what is more comfortable, and what's more comfortable, I realized growing up and with all these tools, is it is listening to people. It is like really the genuine counter or question follow-up that you're going to ask is so much better than anything you have written down on your piece of paper.
Yeah, it's because you care in the conversation. It's like you're listening, and just kind of with us, right? We had a plan to be like, how did you get to your career? We honestly haven't gotten past an internship because we're like, oh my God, okay, you learned this and you're doing this, and we didn't even finish our agent stuff.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just so exciting to like every single question, every avenue.
Totally.
We wrote a bunch of questions down, and what's funny is we're answering all of them for the most part.
Oh, nice.
But you know, we're just kind of doing it in a little bit of a different way.
Yeah.
Okay, but back to the agent thing, because you just brought that up. So you guys don't have agents. I have an agent.
Okay.
I will say, having an agent is amazing in the fact that you have someone there to negotiate for you.
Yes.
And if you have a good agent, because it's always awkward trying to say like, hey, I'm worth this much.
I'm amazing.
Exactly. So, and you can, but at the same time, it looks so much better to have someone else doing it for you.
Like she has her shit together.
And someone believes in you and wants to represent you. And that's what shows to the people that you're trying to get hired by.
Right. And if you have a good agent that does this too, someone to help you build your brand and kind of walk you through like, hey, you really need to think about this. Like, do you want to go this direction or this direction? Like,
having a third party.
Right. And kind of helping you like, not facilitate or massage your brand, but kind of navigate your brand and grow your brand with you. So it is, you have to find the right agent though. I mean, there's a lot of slimy ones out there. But you have to find someone. I mean, I would recommend someone that's more so at a smaller agency or has their own agency versus like a big.
Wow.
I'm not gonna name drop some big agencies that I wouldn't go with, but you know, because then it's a little bit more personal, and you're a big fish in a small pond versus a small fish in a big pond.
Yeah. That's interesting to me. Yeah, because I was always, that's something as I've been looking and talking to people, it's like you think you want the big agencies, but then you realize like who's going to pay more attention to you, who's going to work hard for their money that you're working hard to earn for them as well. So
who's going to fly out to a lot of your events with you and like you know, be there for you, or who's gonna like not promote you, but who's gonna, what's the word when you, I don't
Puff
know.
you up, pump you up. Just be like, you're hype girl, you're hype woman. And you'd be like, yay, look at her. Here we go.
Hey, you extra, you
$1
my
million.
But there are agents who will take like multiple clients and then like give them to brands and be like, oh, which one do you want to work with, versus really tailoring it and figuring out like, hey, Nikki's will be well suited for this brand and so will be well suited for this brand. I'm not going to just say, hey, pick one of my clients.
And I'll get money regardless.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's difficult because I think the market that we're in is very, it's very small, okay? It's very small. It's a small community. There's very limited opportunities.
Yep.
Nikki is really lucky, I think, that you're able to have, her hub is Florida, right? And then you get sent all over the country, which is so cool.
That's awesome.
But it is really difficult because it's like how many agencies are in Sacramento, are in San Francisco, and then you start thinking about what's your end goal, right? And is that going to be more LA? Is that going to be more New York, right? Because that's where the media, like,
totally.
And for you, if you are going to eventually do play-by-plays or going to go to the, big league, NBA or whatever, are you ready to move away from Sacramento?
Right.
Because you're probably not going to get called up for. I mean, there's a chance. I'm not saying it's not going to happen.
But you're right.
But it's like, hey, Houston has an opportunity. Can you come? Are you going to drop everything?
Yep. You're 100% right. And obviously, like, I've thought about this answer. I don't care if it was in Milwaukee. Yes, drop everything, put me there, boom, doing it. And obviously, right now, the Bucks have won 18 straight. As of right now, this podcast is like December 16th or something, whatever.
Yeah.
So, it's going to a good team. But I was just talking about like a city that maybe would be...
Like if you had wait, I'm trying to think of like a city.
Okay.
Okay,
Charlotte. Even, I mean, some people
also
really...
be like, there is a team in Arkansas. You had to go to Arkansas.
Right.
You know what? I actually really love Arkansas.
Hey,
don't dog on Arkansas.
From Arkansas.
Girl,
I love you.
It's the natural state. And let me tell you something. Little Rock and Fayetteville, they are beautiful places. So don't worry,
Rock.
Arkansas. We still love you.
Yeah. No, and
man.
it's so true.
Anyway, so I love everyone from Arkansas. So we've clarified that.
But you can name cities though. Like that's the thing with, like, let's be honest here. You can name cities that you want to live in and that you don't want to live in. And so many people will say, I never want to live in Cowtown, Sacramento. Sacramento's my favorite freaking city. I lived in LA. I mean, talk about like cutthroat, mean people. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not a size -0, and like that's what it was for me. And I remember just thinking, what? I just want to like talk sports and like work hard, but it was not that. There was so much more drama that had to be going into that. So yes, depending on city and market and everything. And I could say there's places that I don't want to live, but Kat, if a place, I don't care if it was Arkansas, I would go in a heartbeat.
Well, that's the thing,
and that's
right?
what you have
if
to do.
The opportunity is there, if the opportunity is good, you're going to go there.
Yep.
What's our saying about opportunity, Michelle?
Oh, producer Michelle, what is it? When hard work meets... When preparation meets hard work.
No, when preparation meets opportunity, that's what luck is.
Yes. When preparation meets opportunity, that's what luck is. Thank God you got your shit together, Michelle.
One of us has to.
Oh man, but it's true, and it's. I say this a lot with my clients for working out, nutrition, and stuff like this. It's not the most ideal time for you to work, right? Like sometimes we're like, well, if I could go at 9 a.m., that's when I feel like I'm going to be the most motivated and get the best workout. So people want to like pre-plan. If it's not in that ideal time, they don't want to do it. That's not how life works. No. It's when you can do it, period. And that's different for everyone with, different opportunities of saying yes to an opportunity, saying no to an opportunity.
Yeah. Well, I think you even posted about this, but it's not motivation, it's discipline.
100%.
That's what that is.
Absolutely.
And that's with anything, with working out, whatever whatever the case may be. I mean, if you got to do something and you say you're not motivated, that's not motivation. That's discipline.
I know, absolutely. I never want to work out.
No. Does anybody ever want to work out?
I really don't.
Okay, wait.
No.
I guess, well, I'm trying to think, like, I guess each morning, because I do work out each morning, and like I don't want to when I'm going.
Like you're not like, yes, it's 5 a.m.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna squat hella weight right now and I'm gonna sprint. Like you're not excited for it, but you know it's gonna be good and you're gonna like
That's
it.
okay. See, and that's the feeling I guess I remember when I'm on my way and I'm pissed off and I'm freezing cold now. I hate going when it's
30
cold.
degrees.
Yeah, dude, it sucks. And like I do think about it, I go, really? It sucks right now? You know how much suckier it'd be if you were sleeping in bed? You'd feel like crap. Like
yeah.
that's
You'd be
why
pissed at yourself.
Oh, so mad. So it's like, so put a smile on, shut up, squat.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But then it also becomes routine, right? It just becomes habit.
Yes.
So you don't even think twice about waking up, putting on your leggings, putting on your workout clothes, and heading out the door. You just do it.
Yeah.
Because at some
I
point
think
that
twice,
discipline.
but yeah. I
Discipline.
think that 6th time too. And I'm like, I'm still walking. You're still doing it. Your body's still going. It's not easy. And I think that's maybe, you know, people see the name of the podcast and be like, oh, they're going to tell me the trick.
Yeah.
They're going to tell me how it's done, and I'm going to do the same thing they did.
There's no
Joke's
magic
on
formula.
y'all. We still don't know anything.
And our 3 stories are all so different.
So different.
Yeah. So it's just there's no right or wrong way to do it.
No.
You just gotta do it.
But going back to being in this market, you guys, like,
yes.
like in loving living here and stuff, it is funny because my dad has actually said a few times to me, like, because obviously, let's be honest too, people out there, you don't make a lot of money well, I'm going to speak for myself, just doing, being a color analyst in the GLeague. You just don't. Like, that's part of the grind. And I had a different job. I had a different role with the Sacramento Kings, and I quit that role so I could focus fully on broadcasting because it was I hate spreading myself too thin where I'm like, I was running a youth basketball program with the Sacramento Kings for the entire organization. And it was just, I couldn't be the best at both. And I was being okay at both. And what do I want to be the best at? It's being a broadcaster. So I had to choose that. And then now talking about the market, I was going to say there's so many jobs out there that are like St. Louis and, Houston, Arkansas, wherever. And sure, like I could apply for all those gigs and be a sports anchor somewhere, but it's like, this is where I want to be too. Like, this is what I want to do. Now, if I got the opportunity to be NBA somewhere, I would take that in a heartbeat. But just doing local sports news somewhere else, that's where you do, and this is where I'm telling people, like, you have to question it. Is that the route you want to go? Is that going to be the next step in your career where I know that isn't going to be the next step in my career? Or I think that's not going to be the next step in my career.
I mean, you also have to kind of go with your gut. I think a lot of our conversations have always been like, oh, any opportunity, we've jumped on it.
Yeah.
But there has been opportunities that I have turned down because it just didn't feel right. And sometimes I even kind of go back and be like, oh, did I mess up not getting that experience, right?
Totally.
Like, oh, I said no to something. I said no to being on TV, being a TV reporter. And the reason I said no was the interview. I felt like I wasn't going to be respected in that organization. Wow. Just how the interview went. Like, I feel like if I'm going to do something, I want to be excited about it and I want them to be excited about it, right? Like, we both have to have this like equal excitement about it, or even just mutual respect. Like, you don't have to be hella excited that I'm on the team or anything, but like, you respect me,
you can
right?
feel the vibes.
Yeah. And so I'm going in and it's just, it was a very negative vibe for the $0 I was going to make, right? So I'm like, so it would have been experience, but I knew I was going to be like angry the whole time. And so I made the decision to step away from that and not put myself in that environment.
Good for you.
And so, I battled with it back and forth of like, oh, I didn't get that experience, but it led me to different avenues.
Right.
Totally.
Right.
And I think the one thing to what you're saying is, and what both of you are saying, whatever decision you make, you have to know, like, once you make that decision, you can't look back. Because the one thing I think too in what we do, I personally don't think that you can make a wrong decision.
Yeah.
I think, of course, you're going to pass up opportunities, but what's meant to be will be. And if there's a goal, and if you have a goal or a dream, like you will get there one way or another. So you can't think twice about things.
Totally.
And I mean, I get FOMO and sometimes I think twice, so I'm not perfect at this, but I try my best to be like, okay, this is the decision I've made. You can't dwell on it and think about it because I mean, you'll get there eventually if you have that goal.
Well, someone just being honest, at a way higher level than where we're at right now. Her name's Kristine Leahy, and she was the host of American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
And then she ended up doing Colin Coward.
Yeah, I know who she is.
And then she ended up getting her own show on Fox. And her own show now, and I feel so bad because she's amazing.
Happened? Yeah.
It's getting canceled. But she was set up to fail. It was not her fault. I think she is good at what she does. She was great at American Ninja Warrior. But I think there's times where she's probably going to look back like, why did I quit this or why did I do this? And here's the thing with her. She already has a great resume and she's going to do great things. Yeah. And that's where you can't look back on, shoot, should I have done that? Shoot, should I have done whatever you're supposed to be doing, you'll be doing, and you'll create that opportunity for yourself or however it may be.
Oh my gosh. Goodness. I feel like we've said this before, or maybe I've said, or maybe we said this on the last podcast. Didn't we talk about on the last podcast? We said, create your own opportunity.
Well, that's kind of what happened is I turned down that position. I was like, well, you know what? I think I'm going to do YouTube. Right? It was I have sometimes those solid 50 views. You know what I'm saying?
And I know you're joking about that, but still.
No, I solidly do have 50 views on some videos.
And that's where you got to start.
But that's what I kept going. I haven't stopped.
Good,
right?
yes.
It's it's either if my love is camera work, then why am I not doing it even if it's for myself, right? Because then you just start to meet new people. You start to learn a little bit more about yourself. And unlike both of you, I feel like you guys have done a lot more non-live event stuff. Sure. I feel like all I do is live event stuff, and I'm really liking the non-live stuff.
Cool.
I love live, but I only can do that so many times because the amount of energy that it takes is... I'm done for 2 days. And it's a hard mental thing for me because I want to get up and just be my normal self, but you're in front of thousands of people, especially not even King's Game. Sometimes I do events where I'm on the stage for hours and I don't leave the stage, instead of with the live event stuff, you can have a little bit more producing and it's a little bit more fun. You're able to have that research and things like that. And so kind of finding a way to do that. You have to make it.
I can't imagine doing even a King's Game. I mean, I can imagine it. Yeah. But you and Fresh do she does the MC on court live stuff with whatever with Scott Freshour. Yeah. They both do such an amazing job, and every time I'm drained for you guys. The amount of energy, the entire game that you have to have and you have to do.
Well, and let's not forget that she's freaking running in heels the whole time.
I wear heels.
Yes. No, I've seen you. I've seen your sprint very fast, by the way, very fast.
I try to beat the cameraman just to
She only knocked over 2 kids and some elderly person.
They were in my way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. But
get out.
But even with that, I guess I'm saying this too, and not to compare, but I do want you to know, doing a whole basketball game sometimes, I know, and I don't know if it's because I am not good at staying up late or whatever it is, but I am tired as hell after calling an entire basketball game because you kind of live the highs of the game.
Dude.
You played it.
It's the fight or flight response.
Yes. And then you get this high before you're in bed and you're just that was so much fun. That was so cool. Oh man, the Kings came back from 18 points. It was so awesome.
You don't go to bed till 1.
Yeah.
Because you're on...
Yes, yes, it's too hard to wind down.
Crack cocaine.
Get me the melatonin or something.
Wow.
Yes.
I need to shadow one of you guys for the day. Yes. I don't know how this feels. Golf is very much it's
Chill.
an even keel, but I will say I'm out in the sun all day and that wipes me out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
yeah, that's
but I mean, Kat's whatever. That's nothing.
No, that's a whole different culture.
Totally.
Sure.
Making
no,
sure you're
don't worry, it's
so
gone
Don't
anyway.
worry, she drank all
I drank
of her
it all.
wine.
It's not going to spill.
Oh man, but
well, and one thing I wanted to know too is what a typical day looks like for you. We're talking about live stuff, we're talking about games and stuff, but what's a typical like day in the life
how about
for
we
you?
do 2 days?
Yes.
A day that you're calling a game,
Okay.
and then a day where maybe you're doing more podcast,
That's
broadcast.
the whole point of the question because I know every day is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is, you guys get it.
Maybe
you know.
7 days.
You know. So we'll go over Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll go over Monday. No, so it's a good question. So, and let's say a regular day with no game, but let's just put out that the game is the next day. So I'm not going to go over today because I do have a Stockton games tomorrow, but today was different. So.
Today you were organizing a closet because what is your name?
You're welcome, Mom and Dad.
Morgan Kondo. My parents call me Morgan Kondo because I organize everything in their house. I'm really good at organizing. You can hire me. That's also on my resume.
Instagram handle is at Morgan Megan if you want to hire her.
I'm
Anyways,
way more expensive than my color job. So let's say we do the podcast. So we're prepping for the podcast. It could sometimes be on like a Sunday evening, and there's football on, so you're prepping. There's a Kings game on Saturday or whatever. Okay, so you get into Monday, you wake up, you prep, you do the show, but then after the show, that's the funny part. It's after the show that everything takes forever, whether it's uploading, then we also do video and audio. And so then you're scripting out everything, not scripting out, but you're writing everything that you talked about and you're time coding it. And then you're figuring out how you want to promote it, how you want to market your podcast today. Like, usually I'll do like a video clip, which means I go back into an hour podcast and find the best clip that I think portrays and hopefully gets people
clickbait.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so then
clickbait.
You're done with the pod, you go on with your day. God, my days have been so different lately. If it was I was still doing my old job, then I would go to my old job, do an 8-hour day. Then sometimes I would have a Stockton Kings game later that night. But let's just go back to after a podcast, you're done prepping, you're done with the pod, you're gonna start prepping for the GLeague game. So that could mean I go back and watch video of a game of their last game, let's say. Like the Stockton Kings just played South Bay Lakers, I'd go watch maybe a quarter or two of that. If there's a Stockton Kings practice, I would go to the practice. And the difference is, like, a lot of media goes to practices usually to just get audio. Well, because GLeague, there's a lot of access. So coaches are telling you why they're running this, why they're doing this.
That's nice.
It's so, you guys, as a broadcaster, to get all that information, to be able to spew it all out on the broadcast the next day is like just beautiful. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So let's say, God, my normal day sounds so boring and sounds so weird, but
really,
everything.
I think that sounds
really
hard.
okay.
Yeah, it
you're
sounds like a
research.
lot.
That's research is like you have to sit
Brain.
there and focus and retain.
It's the brain that like just is working, and so it is hard. And then usually my fun at night, so many people have like their Netflix shows and like Real Housewives, which that's my off season.
Yeah.
But during the season, I'm turning on a different NBA game every single night. Like I'm usually looking to listen to Doris Burke because I want to learn and practice and see how they're calling a game, how they're not being repetitive in their words. I find myself being repetitive. I always use the word fundamentals. I gotta stop.
Which probably no one notices.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm just gonna throw that out there. But we're all our own worst critic.
My dad and my play-by-play partner obviously noticed because they're the ones that brought it up to me.
Dad,
Of course.
Deuce.
Yep. Yeah. Quiet down, guys.
Quiet down.
Quiet
We can't
down.
hear you. Okay.
So then let's just go to a game day then. A game day, now last year, that's when I would mix too much. And I would do too much work and then go into the game day. And I could tell by the end of the night, you guys, I was not calling the game to the best of my ability.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Think about doing a live event, but having a whole bunch of crap earlier in the day.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what you do early in the day, but let's get to that because I'm curious how you keep the energy. And even for you, like your golf it's not like, hey, we're playing this at night. You start bright and early.
Oh, it's hurry up and wait too.
Right.
You're out on the golf course at
and wait.
7
I like
a.m.
that.
and you ain't done until like 5 p.m. And you're like, what the heck did I just do with my whole day?
And it's all energy, right? And so with GLeague, what I've now have done this year, because I am lucky enough to put myself in this position right now, on game days, routine, work out, watch game film. If we usually don't go to shoot arounds, we'll I'll just look at the other team. Deuce usually does a lot of the chart work, and then we'll send it over to me. And the chart work will be like fun facts about the other team, their stats, everything from the coaches, whatever. So it's just like you're learning for a test, whatever.
Wow.
And then though, I'm like trying to find out how I want to go about this. I want to find different ways to listen to Doris Burke and other color analysts like throughout my day, just so it's like in my brain.
Yeah.
And I haven't figured out a way. And sometimes I'll just like watch highlights on Instagram and that someone will be kind of analyzing it or whatever. But then Deuce will get me. We'll go get chocolate fish coffee in Sacramento, and we head to Stockton.
Love it.
And then when we're in Stockton, you're on the bench and you're taking notes of who's who, because once again, there's not photos of all these guys just everywhere. It's the GLeague.
Yeah.
So you're like, and then we sit down with the coach and we take more notes on their game notes on whoever scouted the team. And then we get into the game, and then we're done by 11 p.m.
And then you have to just be natural about it.
Yes.
Right? You can't be choppy, right? It's not, you have all the information. You're like, all right, just give me 1 second, guys. Let me just look up what this number is. Hold on. You have to just flow, like as if you just are, this is what I know about their history since they've been two.
You know how many times Deuce will be like, because Deuce will know the name of that guy, and I'll be like, man, the OKC... instead of saying like the OKC player, I'll be like, OKC did a great job on that defensive play. When really I'm like, what the hell is that guy's name? What's the hell is that guy's name? Williams. What a great play by Williams. I won't say it like that, but you know.
No, for sure. That's impossible for me to ever do. That is a skill.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, for anyone listening who's like younger, wants to get into sports, wants to be like a broadcaster, reporter, like whatever it may be, talking about sports, whatever sport it may be. Yeah. Like her day is not like, I just wake up, do what I want all day, and then I show up to the game, and I like analyze it, and then I just talk about it. Like, it's literally... It's literally like you're
homework,
living, sleeping, eating, breathing basketball,
and you have to love it.
And you have to love it. You have to enjoy like watching whatever sport you're in. Like you have to enjoy it, or or even in media, like whatever you talk about, like you have to thoroughly enjoy it. Yes. And you have to study it. You have to research it. That's like in your blood. Oh yeah. That's the one. When I first started, that was like the biggest feedback that I got. The first like big event that I did after Ryder Cup, they just said, "Hey, like you need to do more research." They said, like, you know, so and so has their notebook out, and guess what? Now I have my notebook and I have all my freaking notes, and I like research like crazy, but you have to do it.
It's so true. And like, I mean, even for you, like that, like you're saying with all like the college golfers and everything and those names and those people the people that you don't really know. If you don't know, people can also tell that you don't know.
Oh, exactly.
You know, and that's the hardest part about, and like, even for you, Kat, I know, and the reason why I can almost talk a little bit about what Kat does, because I get to see it's not like they get into the game and it's like, hand me the mic. Okay, I'm going to go over to section 111 and talk about this. They have it planned out. It's a game plan, and they practice the game plan before the game. Like, it's not just showtime, turn it on, let's go.
Yeah, you guys definitely need more research though than I do, which is exciting for me because I don't get the actual script of the game by it's either 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. Whoa. And so then I just have to hope for the best.
But you're like crunch time. You're like studying in crunch time.
Well,
like,
from that time, then I'm like, okay, am I doing any interviews? If I'm not doing any interviews, then that's always like a relief for me because I get so stressed with interviews because I don't have the time to know what I'm really doing. It's like they give me 4 questions and a name. And then it's like sometimes 30 minutes before I have to go. And then you only have 45 seconds to do all of that. So then it's like, to me, I dread interviews because I feel like it's almost like I'm set up for failure in the sense of like having that like relaxed conversation of me being able to genuinely ask, because we are on a time crunch. Like the game's going to start in 20 minutes. So you only have 45 seconds.
Totally.
Because we also have 4 other people doing other interviews somewhere else. So that's something that is like, oh, cool. I want to research.
Yeah.
But I just can't.
Girl, no, I feel you
stressful.
there. Sometimes at golf tournaments, there's say, I don't know, someone's in the lead after the second day. And I'm like, I don't even know who the F this person is.
Totally.
And they're like, hey, we need to get an interview with him. Like, they only have 5 minutes. Like, let's go. And I'm literally within 30 seconds Googling him, looking up what, like, you know what I mean? You have to figure out all the information as much as you can. And then you just got to go.
And you do this.
Yep.
And can I let everyone know that's watching this too? I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
That wasn't taught to me. It's like a sink or swim situation. And you start swimming and then all of a sudden your brain just clicks and you're like, yep, thank God for Google. Thank God for Instagram. Thank God for some of these things that like, or some of the skills that you even learn in college, let's say, or at a job where it's these skill sets to
be resourceful.
Yes. And a boss tells you, go find this. Like you might ask around and ask your resources around you and some of your peers, but you're going to figure it out unless you want to look like an idiot or get fired or whatever that may be. And so, yes, it's a sink or swim situation. These jobs are, and that's why I just want people to know, like, it's not like everything's handed to you. There's a producer in your ear telling you every single thing. When you get to a certain level, maybe, but not here.
You know, and you also, that environment, I thrive in and I love.
That's cool.
To my core. I feel like you have to like it to do it.
Yeah.
Because then it's almost like you're constantly worried all the time. It's like, to me, I'm like, I know I'm going to somehow be thrown under the bus today, right? You just like, I just know it. Not intentionally. It's not like anyone in my environment has ever intentionally done it. It's just the industry.
Right.
It's just a situational thing. And you just know that you're going to have some sort of stress that you're going to have to figure out in matters of seconds, right?
Totally.
Of a fan grabbing my mic literally away from my hand and screaming into the microphone. What am I going to, like, those are certain situations. You just, I dropped into a squat and held the mic into a squat. Full squat, and then the camera.
Thank goodness you work out.
The camera went down with me.
First
he squatted
of all,
with me.
That is
and
beautiful.
And Mo didn't even know. Our director didn't even know. You know what I'm saying?
That is amazing.
My question for both of you is: do you guys kind of live in that environment, even if it's not your favorite? Like, do you feel like you need to accept chaos in order to be in this industry?
You got.
Oh yeah. I mean, as far as like not having, just with everything, not having a steady routine or schedule, always having to like just go with the flow and figuring it out. Like it's always just like figuring it out along the way. And you just have to like take whatever's thrown at you, because that's the thing. Like it's not steady. It's not stable. It's kind of just figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
Even when I took on my other role with the Sacramento Kings with this youth basketball program, and I was the manager and running everything, I took it on because I was starting to get I was like, I'm sick of the chaos of not ever knowing my schedule, of not ever sleeping. And with Good Day Sacramento, it was 2:45 wake up call.
Oh my Lord.
Yes, only because my hair didn't dry on its own.
So annoying, hair and makeup.
Yeah. So anyway, so then it was like 3 a.m., whatever. That chaotic lifestyle was just a little bit too much. So I was like, I want a steady salary job. And that's what I did. And then I was like, oh, no, you don't. You're a broadcaster at heart. Go get them, girl.
Be careful what you wish for.
100%.
And that's what made me transition back into it. And like, you're right. It's the love for it. There's love for it. There's love for the chaos.
Because you're not going to thrive in it unless you truly love it, because it is so difficult. Like being able to, having my boyfriend has a Monday through Friday job. He owns his own company, so his hours are a little bit
cool.
crazier, but he's still off on weekends or works at home on weekends. So he gets up, at 5 a.m. every day, and he's home usually by like 5 p.m. or between 5 to 7 every day. And that's a normal thing. And so sometimes it's hard for me because I'm like, oh, I'm up till 1 a.m. I also want to get up at 5 a.m. because I want to feel like I'm also,
Yes.
you're in your environment. I'm like, I'm also kind of competitive. I'm like, you're up 5 a.m. I'm gonna be up 5 a.m. Like, we're gonna both do it. But he was sleeping by 10:30.
Well, and society says that waking up at 5 a.m. you're going to be productive, but you have to know, like, okay, I did come home at 1 a.m.
Correct.
Yeah, like I'm dead. You know what I mean? I can't get up at 5 a.m. and have a truly productive day.
You need sleep.
You just do. And that was something I think we even touched on our last podcast, or maybe we were talking about it. I hate it when people say success equals waking up early, right? Like,
really?
Have you not heard that?
No, I don't.
Really, like society says, like, if like people, I've seen people talk about how they get up at like 3 a.m. because people in New York are up.
Oh my
and so
God.
if you, it's literally angers my body.
Love mornings. I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
Love mornings.
Yeah.
I would never say that though. Like,
it's because it's a part of your life. It's not people trying to be like, I'm successful.
That you're only successful if you wake up early. Like, not true. You're only successful if you get 8 hours of sleep. How's that? Like, your body works, your brain works.
Yeah.
You're a better person if you get your 8 hours of sleep. Sleep, damn it. I don't care what time you wake up.
Well, you're only successful if you're productive with the hours that you do work.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Hashtag.
We're so smart.
I know. Okay, so do we have any other career questions before we go into rapid fire?
Ooh.
No, I think we should
rapid
finish
fire.
off with the rapid fire questions.
Okay, I'm so excited.
Perfect. Good cut there, guys.
Yeah, that was, wow. Way to know it live.
I know, here it is, live of NMC.
That's what I do.
Oh, what's up, Winter?
He's been so good,
Do we
you
have a lot
guys.
more? Should I change the battery? Are we good?
No, it's just
We're just gonna do rapid fire.
yeah, like
Alright, cool.
12 quick questions, and some of them are like
Oh, shit.
Just 105.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
just 1,000. You go one, I'll go two.
Perfect.
Yep.
Love
Okay.
it.
All right.
Okay.
We good? Michelle, are we good? Okay, great.
Producer Michelle says we're ready to go for rapid fire questions.
So let's explain really quick because our first episode, rapid fire, is basically exactly what it sounds like. just in case everyone knows, we have random questions for you that we found on this thing called the internet, and you just have to answer as quick as possible.
I'll try it.
All right, Nikki, you start.
Okay, ready? Do you have any pets?
No.
So good. I'm so proud of you.
She's good. You've got it.
Oh, that's why you love Winston
I
so much, because
love-
you're getting
I
the
love
dog
pets.
pet. Yeah, of course. But I get it. Job, career, it's hard.
Duh,
I know.
can't-
I'm stressed every time I leave him.
Right.
It's like anxiety. I know
It
you
is.
do with Kip.
I know.
Okay, number 2, biggest pet peeve.
Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna go straight to the first thing that came to mind was mean people. Mean people suck. There's
they
no
do,
reason
they
to be
suck.
mean. It's just a waste of space in this world. It is. Why do you have to be mean?
Because they're mean to
1000%.
themselves.
Yes. And don't you, like, seriously,
Yeah.
guys, there's too many mean people.
Well, I feel like it's easier to be a nice person than it is to be a mean person.
It
Yes.
takes effort and
Yes.
it
It
drains
does.
you of your energy. Like,
It does.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I like that. It's a
Thank
good
you.
answer.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, what is in your purse right now?
Oh, God. Keys, pepper spray, wallet, always pepper spray, lipstick and lip liner. I always, for some reason, have eye drops.
Ooh, that's
I
a good
have
one.
no idea why, though.
You never know.
Isn't that so weird? Like, I got eye drops. They're probably old and expired.
Well, that's not too crazy for being on camera if your eyes are red and you just want to
My
just in
eyes
case.
are never red. I literally don't know why.
trying to,
Mine are always red. You
Morgan.
can give it to me
I'm
then.
being honest. And then I have my media credential, and I think that's it.
Nice.
Yes.
That was good. Okay. Who would play you in a movie about your life?
I love this question.
I know.
Oh, it's so hard. Let's just. I think this is so dumb because it almost sounds like I want this person to play me.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Who is it?
Well, okay, I want Danny McBride to play me. That's who I want to play me in a movie.
Let me
Danny
Google this.
McBride.
Danny
Hold
McBride,
on.
you guys.
I gotta Google. Wait, I'm
He's-
Googling.
You'll know
Producer
exactly
Michelle,
who
do you
he
know
is.
who Danny McBride is?
You'll-
I'm gonna guess Anna Kendrick.
You'll know exactly who he is when you just when you
Wait.
Google him. He's a comedian.
You want him to play you?
Let me see.
He's the funniest, most amazing person. And I think, okay, and like to be honest, I cuss a lot, and that's
What?
all he does.
Wait. Can they
What
see
is
this?
happening
Okay,
right
'cause
now?
This is Morgan.
I was him for
Morgan.
Halloween too, no joke.
Oh,
I love him so much.
That is
he
hilarious.
Just cusses. He's quick. He's witty, and I'm like, I'm none of those things. Play me. Do it, Danny McBride.
Okay, you know who I was gonna say?
Come
Because you
on.
kind of sound like her.
Who?
Scarlett Johansson.
So many people say I sound like her.
You do.
Can she ball though? Can she play basketball? No,
I
I'm kidding.
mean, I'm sure
Hey,
she
Scarlett
could. She
Joe,
could-
this is a
Dude.
shout out from Morgan.
Get a
Can
long
you
brunette.
ball?
Get a long brunette wig on her.
Kat
Oh
and
my
Nikki
god.
want like a real answer. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
No,
so,
no, that's your answer. I
Okay.
think it's perfect.
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride, stick to
Danny
it.
McBride. your next role is playing Morgan.
Oh my God.
Feature film.
Oh my God. Okay, Nikki, you're next.
Okay.
Oh, this was my favorite.
All right. Your spirit animal.
Oh God, Danny McBride. No, I'm kidding. My actual let's go with like a real spirit animal. I'm gonna go fox. I don't know why I've always had a thing for a fox, and
like it.
I don't know.
You sneaky?
Yeah, they're sneaky, they're feisty, but they're
Sneaky?
cute.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's me. Sneaky, feisty, cute. Okay. Favorite TV show right now?
Ooh, okay. Let's go with. There's this Netflix show that I was watching, and it's called I'm Sorry, and it sounds super random. And it's a
Michelle likes it.
Producer
female,
Michelle is all about
Yeah.
it.
It's a female comedy lead, and she just kills it. Like the way that she talks to people, the way that she talks to her kids, and like treats her husband and everyone, it's just hilarious. It's phenomenal. Watch I'm Sorry on Netflix. I love
That's
it.
my new binge show.
Yes.
that
I
like
I've never
it.
heard of it.
Yes, try it out.
All right. If you had one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, I always hate this one. I think I would teleport, and only because
Dude.
then think about it,
Same.
you never have to fly anywhere, but
That's
you could
mine.
travel and see the world.
Ooh, that's a good
Have
one.
you seen the movie Jump?
No.
That Jump movie. It's like
No.
it's
They
old.
teleport?
It's called jumping, and so you just see a picture of something and
Makes
you
sense.
can be there, right? You have to see the picture of it. It's like
What?
really, it's dope. Anyways, that was always mine.
That's my power.
I get it. Same thing. I think we answered this one already.
Okay.
But are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning.
Okay.
Yep.
So what time do you wake up in the morning?
I-
I added this one. Sorry.
No, that's a great question. I only this is not that early to me anymore. 5:45. Like, it really? Okay.
I mean, I do wake up at 6, but I snooze till like 6:15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 5:45. I'm in the gym by 6 because it's around the corner for me.
good.
That's why.
Oh
That's
wow,
good.
that's really good.
Do you sleep in your workout clothes?
No, but I have before, and I'm like, that was a great idea. Like,
that's
then you
smart.
don't have to like get cold and put it on your sports bra in the morning.
That's
and it's
like quick. 5:45 in the gym by 6.
Yeah,
You're not messing around.
I
in
give
the
myself
morning.
10
Yeah.
minutes. The gym's 3-minute drive though. So
That's nice.
Thanks,
That's
yeah.
really nice.
Thanks.
Okay.
That's
Oh, I
impressive.
like this one. Mini
What?
golf or real golf?
Yeah.
Ooh, mini golf. You'd be proud. I played my first
You'd be proud, Nikki.
round, my first 18 holes ever, like this year.
You said it.
love
so
it.
good.
I know, I'm like trying
She's
to.
like,
I'm like,
am I
wait.
saying the right
The
thing?
game
I'm like,
of golf. The game.
I know
That's what I
sports.
did.
Golf is like the one. Like golf is just like not there with me. And yes, I played golf, and
So proud of you.
I was so proud because it was my first time. But anyway, I would still go with miniature
I
golf.
love it.
Oh man. Okay, same.
Okay,
Same.
good.
Super same.
Yes.
Okay, what's the craziest fan story? Like something in like the crowd, or are you broadcasting, or something that's like a fan that went nuts?
Okay, one I'll tell you off camera.
Oh no.
Yeah, like can't.
Bad, okay.
And then let's see. I mean. Honestly, I'm just gonna say this really quick. I know it's rapid fire, but the Deucemo podcast, you guys, it's really cool. Podcasting's so cool because you do build like such a fun fan base that want to connect and want to keep listening
Yeah.
with you and be friends with you. And we call our listeners douchebags and morons. So
my God, I
you might
love
want to
that.
start picking
We
out
need a
some
name.
some cute nickname. And I would say there's this one fan who asked Deuce the wife emailed us asking if Deuce would write a letter that she could give to him on their wedding day before they got married. That's how big of a and yes, and so we also made the mugs with Mr. and Mrs. with the Deuce and Mo podcast symbol. But Deuce wrote this long letter of like, hey,
That's so
like
cute.
you know, this is the day, like you're gonna just enjoy and blah blah. They were so thankful. They just posted a few weeks ago. They had a baby, and so now Deuce thinks that he's like Mr. like
The
Cupid.
Godfather.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
my God.
okay.
I thought you were going to say he's now their godfather. I did.
And you know what? The baby's actually Deuce's, so the marriage didn't work out.
Baby's name is going to be Deuce.
Oh
Yes,
my
yes.
God.
No, so I would say that was the coolest.
Awesome,
Yeah.
though, like creating that community.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It could get weird sometimes,
That
but
is rad.
But I think it's cool.
That's a story off air.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
that's
hey,
the
if
off-air
we ever
story.
have a fan like that, we've made it, Kat.
Heck yeah.
We're going to the wedding, Nikki. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Twitter or Instagram or any other social media.
Yeah, what's your
It's
favorite?
you guys, they're so different. Twitter, I have like my sports and fun people. Instagram, I'm looking at like how to make something to eat, some sports highlights, how to organize my room correctly, and some home decor that I want to do. So which one's better?
Which one do you like more? Like, what would you rather post on? If everything disappeared but one, what would it be?
Ooh, yeah.
Probably Twitter. You engage more.
All right.
I do love Instagram because it's easier. It's like it's just you're there, and I can do more. But Twitter, if everything was gone, at least I could have that engagement more. I feel like with people.
I never tweet. I'm so bad
That's
at it.
no, it's not.
I'm not a tweeter.
You guys,
I'm not a Twitter
it's
tweeter.
literally it's a whole different world
Oh,
when
yeah.
it's like you have sports like radio and podcast
Yeah.
fans just talking back and forth. I mean, the amount of times I've been called like this dumb idiot woman, and I'm just like, bring it on. Like, are you
Good
really? And then I
Lord.
go to their profile and they're like the
Freaking
dumbest
keyboard
human in the world.
warriors. They're keyboard warriors.
I mean,
They're
yeah,
so
there's-
Keyboard
you just-
They are.
And that's why I
Because
mean,
the second you meet them in person, they don't even say hi to you. They're scared.
Oh, yeah.
oh, it's so wonderful. I love it. So I think I love that aspect of Twitter.
Okay, Twitter. Okay, this is the last one, and I really hope that you can commit to this.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have wine left? Do you need to finish it?
I got it.
Okay, great. Go ahead and finish that as I tell you. Can you do any good impressions? And basically do an impression for us, your best one.
Can you do a Danny McBride impression?
No, I can't. And all he does is cuss, and I love it. But no, and listen to my voice right now.
Yeah.
I can do Scarlett Johansson. No,
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
God, do I have any? I know I no, you're. Oh snap! We're done. No, I'm kidding.
It was
Okay,
right before
this
the
is
impression.
good.
It's okay. You have time to think.
Okay.
It's been blinking red for like 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And then the last thing I think we're gonna ask
Yeah.
you is if you just have one piece of advice.
Ooh. Oh, I always.
That's a flag.
I love it. I love. Wait, what's my advice I always give?
I'm gonna say
Yes.
if you have one piece of advice for Minnie Morgan, like
Oh,
baby Morgan.
yes. Aw.
God, I'm such a good
Like
question
15-year-old
asker.
Morgan or like 12-year-old Morgan?
Oh, my God.
Or like 21-year-old Morgan? Because it's different at
so much
each-
at 21.
Let's just say I'm gonna just say Minnie Morgan. I won't have to clarify the age,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
just like
yeah,
Minnie
totally
Morgan
kidding.
who knew she wanted to be a broadcaster. Even if you were 25, that's still Minnie Morgan.
By the way, how old are you?
I am 31. I had to think about that.
I did not think you were 31. When you were like, oh, I like interned at
We're doing
24, I was like,
impressions.
I thought
Yeah.
she was like, I thought you were like 27.
No,
like
oh my
26.
God, I love you. Oh,
Yeah, no.
you guys keep me young.
You guys, do you guys need anything?
Okay.
We are back on, and now you've had some time to think about your impression. So,
Okay.
what is it going to be? And tell us, and then do it.
I thought for a while, and I really don't have anyone, and if I do, I'll think about it later. But I know Deuce and I always argue who does a better Jimmy Stewart. You know, the
Okay.
guy from It's a Wonderful Life from like the 1930s or whenever
Oh.
the hell that movie was made.
Okay.
Michelle, you're going to have to
Oh, wait,
You're
put
gonna
that
be the
in
judge.
so random.
so we can all hear
It's,
what it is.
okay.
it's because I don't know why, because he would always be like, I do a great Jimmy Stewart. And then he would do it. I'd be like, I do it better. So you ready? It's me, Jimmy Stewart. Oh my God, it's so bad. It's so
You
bad.
heard yourself that time.
We don't even
You heard
know. We
yourself.
can't
It's
compare
so
it.
bad. No, I can't even do it.
Jimmy Stewart.
It's me, Jimmy Stewart. No. Oh my
know.
God.
I feel like that's pretty good.
Oh my God. It's so bad. Do I have anything else?
Can we just edit like the actual Jimmy Stewart right after she says
Yeah,
that?
we
I
need
would love
to.
that.
That's it. You've committed.
Yeah, I committed. I tried. So you're welcome for trying, even though I look like I'm complete fool.
No, that's good. Now I know, more about Morgan Reagan,
Yeah,
and
you do.
kind of, all the inside
Weirdo.
scoop. But we are going to wrap this up now because we could talk for the rest of our lives. And we want to know the off-camera story about the fan. So
Will do.
sorry, guys. This
I'll
is
let you know.
insider scoop.
Not for you guys.
What would you tell Mini Morgan? Like, give us a piece of advice, leave us with a piece of advice or some type of knowledge for that people can use.
I love that. And I think this is the advice I wish I kind of accepted when I was younger. It's be willing to fail, but don't accept failure. Like you have to you have to get embarrassed. You have to feel awkward. You have to fail many times to succeed. It's just, and some people get lucky and they are like, who the hell are you? I've never failed. Like I've always been successful. Okay. But I'm telling you,
They're lying. I believe it.
Right. Like you just got to be willing to put yourself out there and fail, but just don't accept it.
God, that was so good.
I know, I got
Better than my Jimmy Stewart?
Right.
I don't know.
A little
Jimmy
bit,
Stewart's
maybe.
really good, though.
I don't know. All right, we're going to leave you guys with that. And thank you so much, Morgan, for being here. We loved having you on the podcast. First guest.
Thanks.
I mean, and don't worry, we won't forget about you when we're big and famous.
Yes, thank you, ladies.
I was going to play this episode. It's like, do you remember their first guest? We're
Look
like,
how dumb
yeah?
she was. She thought she could do a cool Jimmy Stewart. What an idiot.
Don't worry, we'll have you back on. So you got to work on it.
Thanks.
You'll come back
Yes.
on, redeem yourself.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh
Well,
my
thank you so much, you guys, for listening. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast
Yes.
and leave us a review. Let us know how you liked it. And we're also going to have more amazing guests like Morgan on. So be sure you stay tuned for the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.